If you're worried that your offer isn't perfect and when people find out, it'll stop them from buying, stop. Because today we're going to be talking about how to turn your biggest perceived flaws into your greatest selling features. But before we do,
if you want pre-sold buyers who visit your sales page looking for the buy now button, customers who never shop your competition, and clients who go out and do your selling for you, without wasting piles of cash on endless ads, without chasing TikTok trends, and without burning out trying to post every day, then stop following the bad advice promoted by all the marketing gurus. And stop paying for attention, because attention doesn't create brand loyalty. And when your content turns browsers into believers, they defend you in the comments. And they stay loyal, even when your competitors try to win them over with discounts. It's not about hacks and hooks. It's not about tricks and templates. It's not about building a brighter billboard. It's about sending a stronger signal. And that's how we turn content marketing into cultural gravity. To see how we can do that for you, go to cultishcontent.com today.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about something that I learned from one of my favorite copywriters of all time, Ben Settle. He talked about everybody has a skeleton in their closet, something that they keep hidden from the rest of the world because they're worried if everybody finds out about this, nobody's going to like me.
Oh, no.
And that's true when it comes to our offers as well. We always have some sort of insecurity about our offer. We think if people find out, they won't want to buy. And he had this theory, instead of keeping your skeletons in your closet, instead of trying to hide the thing that you're insecure about, learn how to make your skeletons dance. And that's what he said. Make your skeletons dance.
I like it.
And it's a way to turn your perceived flaws into a selling feature. And so let's start off with the first point, which is nobody trusts perfect. In our marketing, especially now if you're working with like one of these big marketing agencies, there's this perception that everything has to be perfect. Your ads have to be perfect. Your camera shots have to be perfect. Your offer has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that is actually the opposite of the truth, because perfection over polished, first of all, we're kind of sick of seeing perfection and over polished.
Oh, yeah.
I think of music. My favorite artists are the ones that aren't 100% polished. The corporate, over polished production, the perfect perception, the ones that like they have a whole team doing their makeup and making sure everything's perfect. It's hard for me to connect with those people.
They're not as relatable.
They're not as relatable.
Makes sense.
And today, especially when it comes to social media, you look at TikTok, the people that do the best, it's not the people that are super polished. They don't always have the perfect lighting.
You're right.
Sometimes they just show up and turn their camera on.
Exactly. I've noticed that's a trend. People will be so angry because they'll try for 3 hours on their video, but their 30-second clip that they took while on the toilet goes viral.
More toilet takes. There's a thing called the pratfall effect.
Yeah.
And this is basically that people trust authority if there's also some authenticity, if there's also a perceivable flaw.
That makes sense.
If you look perfect, you're unrelatable. And to me, it kind of signals that you're hiding something.
It's like an instant red flag. Yeah.
It is an instant red flag. And it makes me think of an example. This is one of my personal pet peeves, which is the nice guy, the male feminist, the guy that shows up to the Women's Empowerment March and he's like, yes, women's rights, respect the divine feminine.
Oh, yeah.
And then he asks you out and you're like, actually, I have a boyfriend. And he's like, well, fuck you, bitch. You're just a fucking cunt.
The tables have turned.
That is a classic trope. The guy that goes out of his way to be a people pleaser and try and prove that he's the perfect guy. And then as soon as he gets rejected, his true colors come out.
Oof.
You know that the over-polished perfection, the perception that he's trying to deliver, there's actually something lurking below it, beneath it, and that comes through in your marketing. If your marketing is over-polished, if you try to hide everything about your offer that might be an imperfection, people will not trust you. That's why on my sales pages, especially in the FAQ section, I like to weed out. I like to let people know, hey, this might not be for you if we're not the perfect product. We are for the right person, but we're not for everybody.
And in a world full of perfect and polished and beautiful influencers, we like real. We connect more with real and authentic. You can feel it if it's not authentic.
Exactly. And there was a guy that a number of years back, he had these commercials for his self-mastery course. And the whole thing was him chilling in his garage with all of his cars in the background and a library full of all of these books that made him so smart. And then he'd go out and he'd hang out by the pool with a bunch of girls all around him. And it was like, buy my course and you'll be able to live this lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
And it ended up coming out later that the cars were rented, the mansion was rented, the girls were rented. And he ended up getting sued by the FCC. He's going through a situation with the FCC right now.
Sounds right.
Where they said, hey, you've been lying to people in your marketing. That works with an unsophisticated market. But if your market has been lied to before, if they're sophisticated, if they've heard all the promises, they've bought in a couple times from your competitors, they've been let down.
They got trust issues.
They've got trust issues. And if you try to paint yourself as the perfect solution with no flaws, immediately it's going to raise skepticism rather than trust.
Yeah, I'll be scanning you to see when you mess up and what your imperfections are for sure. I'll be waiting for you to slip.
Okay, so by now I feel like we've beaten this horse to death. Let's talk about how to and when to showcase your flaws rather than hiding them, and how to reframe them as features and why that's so important. And I think of a magnet.
Ooh.
A magnet has two sides. If it doesn't have the ability to repulse people, it doesn't have the ability to pull people in.
Okay.
So thinking about your flaws in a way that says, hey, this will push away. Be okay with the fact that this will push away certain people, but you have to do that in order to attract the right people.
Yeah, pushing away the wrong people only creates room for the right people to step in their place.
Yes, and if you don't, a lot of times, if you don't showcase that perceived flaw, they don't have a reason to step in. They're just like, oh, you're just like everybody else. So it's important to understand that repelling people is a key part of making your offer magnetic.
I think it also drives up your perceived value too, because you got that attitude, oh, I don't allow everyone to access my product, even if they want it. And even if they want it, they might not be qualified to get it. So it kind of gives you the vibe, oh, I'm just not trying to dig in everybody's wallets. I actually want to help you.
That's a great example. With us, we make people go through a qualifying program before they're even eligible to work with us. We don't just take on everybody. If you're not at a certain point in your business yet, if you don't already have a proven offer, if you don't have an email list at least at a certain size, you don't even qualify. We don't take people from 0 to 60. We take people from 60 to 100. If you're not at 60 yet, which a lot of people will look at that and be like, but I need help getting to 60.
Right.
We're just not for you. So it looks like a perceived flaw. It looks like, oh, these people can't help me get to 60. We can't help you get to 60. That's not where we specialize.
Right. I like that. So we turn our flaw into a benefit.
Exactly. And the truth of the matter is, we're not great at getting people from 0 to 60.
Right.
There are gurus out there who can help you get from 0 to 60. That's not where we specialize. Once you've already got your offer, once you've kind of got your audience dialed in, we can take that and we can turn it into gold for you, but we can't help you get from 0 to 60.
Oh, yeah. I think this is a good time to bring up the example. You mentioned Ben Settle earlier. He's got an email list with a sign-up rate of, what was it, 3% you were telling me?
It might even be lower than that. So Ben is the master of email marketing.
Yeah.
He's one of the best email marketers out there. He teaches people how to email market. And his own opt-in page, his landing page to join his email list, is one of the lowest in the industry. The conversions, the amount of people that sign up, is one of the lowest in the industry.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, well,
right?
And people used to criticize him for it. You're teaching people how to do email marketing, and yet nobody signs up for your own email marketing list.
Yeah, I could hear that.
But the thing is when you go to his landing page, he's got a bunch of qualifiers. He says, hey, I'm not politically correct. If you sign up for my email list, you're going to get a lot of unapproved opinions.
Yeah, I will offend you. Heads up.
I will offend you. And so anybody who's easily offended, don't even bother signing up. So he eliminates all of those people right off the bat.
I like that because compared to any other email marketer with 100% sign up rate, Ben Settle's click-through rate is going to be 100% every time compared to somebody who has everybody signing up for their list, but barely anybody qualified to actually act.
Yeah, another thing that he does that drives down his conversion rate is on his landing page, he says, hey, if you sign up for my mailing list, I'm going to market to you. I'm going to sell to you every single day. You're going to get an email from me, and there's going to be an offer. And if you get offended by being constantly pitched offers, don't even bother signing up for my email list.
I like it.
So again, anybody who signs up, which is a smaller number than most email marketers get, they know they're going to get sold to.
Yep.
And so when they open up the emails every single day there's an offer, they're not offended by it.
They're ready.
They're ready. They signed up knowing they were going to be sold to.
Yep.
Which means even though his opt-in rates are very low, his actual sales rates from the people that opt in are some of the industry's highest. So he took a perceived flaw, nobody signs up for your email list, and he actually turned it into a feature. He said, well, not everybody signs up for my email list, but the people that do sign up buy like crazy.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
So he took basically, I'm not for everybody, and he turned that into an authority statement, which is the way that you want to do it. Another example of this is by revealing a flaw that you made. One of our clients, Scotty Real, he likes to say, hey, I'm learning in public. I'm a little bit more advanced than most of the people in the audience, but I still make mistakes. And when I make a mistake, I'll come to you and I'll tell you, hey, he deals with cannabis, growing cannabis. He'll be like, hey, I screwed up. My temperature and humidity messed up and my plants got hit with bud mold. Or I made a mistake on my watering over the weekend and I came back and my plants were all droopy. So here's what I did to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Show your mistakes. Show, hey, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too.
I'm
relatable.
Yep.
And what that does is I think about like dating.
Okay.
If you're interested in somebody, but they look perfect, you're going to be intimidated and you're not going to want to ask them out.
Yeah.
If you see a flaw with them, you're like, oh, this person is just a normal person, just like me. All of a sudden, that expectation, all of that anxiety of they're so perfect, why would they ever want to be seen in public with me? All of a sudden, that gets put at ease, and now you can relate to that person. You can have a much more comfortable conversation on a first date with somebody that you're all hyped up and you think that they're perfect, and you're scared that you're going to make a single mistake.
Intimidating.
Yeah, that's going to kill the vibe. It's going to be the worst first date ever. But if you just go into it being like, oh, this is just a person just like me, and I'm not putting them up on a pedestal. I'm not worried about how they're going to perceive me. We're just two human beings connecting and having a good time together. Totally makes a different vibe. Same thing in your marketing. If you're putting yourself up on a pedestal, you're trying to make yourself look perfect. You're creating this anxiety of people not being able to relate with you. And relatability, being able to relate with the person you're buying from is so huge.
Authenticity, that is huge.
So let's go into a couple of different examples of how you can actually do this in your marketing, how you can take a flaw and turn it into a feature. And I want to start off, we talked about Ben Settle, another guy that was one of my favorite marketers, Dan Kennedy.
Okay.
He does the No BS guide to whatever. He is very abrasive. He doesn't like sugarcoating things. He doesn't like padding things. He just says, hey, I'm just going to give it to you raw.
He wants to be real with you.
Yeah, if you don't like it raw, you probably shouldn't get in bed with me. But for the right people, he's become like the god that people follow.
Interesting.
Another example, I've got this thing right here. So I'm going to pull this out real quick. This is the Remarkable tablet. Let me get it in frame here. I love this for note-taking, for drawing. It's a note-taking tablet. It has no Wi-Fi. You can't hook it up to the internet.
Huh.
So people are like, Well, I can take notes on my iPad.
Yeah.
And I can connect it to Wi-Fi. I can connect it to the internet.
All in one.
Yeah. Why would I buy a tablet for taking notes that I can't even hook up to the internet? Major flaw in the product design.
Yeah.
But Remarkable reframes that. They say, hey, this is for an uninterrupted work experience. If you don't want notifications popping up while you're trying to do 30 minutes of uninterrupted work, if you don't want to be distracted by the latest Netflix show,
Yeah.
buy the Remarkable. You can work on it, you can draw, you can write, and you won't be interrupted by all the notifications that you will be interrupted if you're trying to work on your iPad.
I would say that's cool, but I feel like that's remarkable is called for here.
Oh my gosh, Lily. Oh, okay, yes, that is remarkable. An example in my own real world life is I never went to college for marketing.
Right.
I dropped out of high school, and that could be a huge flaw. I could let that limit me from going out and talking with clients. I could let that limit me from my own perceived self-worth when I'm interacting with clients. I could let it stop me.
Yeah.
And other people might think, other business owners might think, oh, you don't even have a degree in marketing. Why would I ever trust you for your marketing? But I didn't learn from a professor who couldn't make it in the real world. So they went to school, they learned marketing at school. Then they go back to school and teach marketing without ever actually learning it. I didn't go to college and learn all of the extra crazy BS that they teach kids in college that has nothing to do with marketing. A lot of colleges now teach kids how horrible capitalism is. If you want a marketer coming in who's been trained by a professor who's never actually been in the trenches, who has anti-capitalist views that's going to hurt your bottom line,
Oh no.
hire somebody who just came out of a marketing school.
Right.
If you want somebody who's been in the trenches, who had to make mistakes, had to learn with my own money on the line, and who had to learn what they don't teach you in the classroom, what you can only learn from being in the trenches, hire me, hire cultish content for your marketing.
Damn right.
So what could be a perceived flaw, oh, you don't even have a marketing degree,
Right.
actually turns into a feature for the right type of people.
Yeah, I didn't learn from a textbook. I learned from real world examples and real world experience.
Exactly. And one of our clients,
Yep.
Real Growers, has a perceived flaw in one of their products.
Yeah, everyone seems to think Grow Dots has a bunch of microplastics in it.
What people don't like about it is it's a slow released nutrient. So you pour it on at the beginning of your grow and it programmed releases the right nutrients at the right time.
Right.
But when you're done with your grow cycle, you can still see these little they look like little plastic balls left in your soil
Little
afterwards.
prills or whatever.
And people would complain, well, all this extra plastic is in my grow. And they would say, that's a flaw. I don't like having this extra plastic left in my soil after. And is this plastic leaching into my plants?
Yeah, we were able to come up with a good benefit, or at least to turn that flaw into a feature. And instead of 20 different nutrient bottles lining your shelves, at the end of your grow, you got these little prills that actually break down into carbon and whatever else it was.
Yeah, so we had people complaining about it. And the way that we framed it as a feature is we said, hey, they're actually not made out of plastic.
Right.
They're made out of a biodegradable polymer that turns back into carbon and water. And it takes a little bit of time to break it down, but it doesn't leach into your plants. It doesn't release microplastics into your soil. And having that tiny little bit of polymer in your soil at the end, you could do that. Or, like you said, you can buy these big jugs, big plastic jugs of nutrients. You can pour nutrients in that way.
Yep.
And then you're left with a lot of plastic at the end of your grow.
Yeah.
Do you want just a tiny bit of plastic or polymer left in your grow? Or do you want these big jugs that are going to fill up the landfills? And so we took something that was a perceived flaw and we turned it into a feature. And then the people that realize that, they're like, oh, okay, this is definitely better than the way that I was doing it.
Yeah.
So the point is, if you've got something that is a perceived flaw for a percentage of your market, you can actually turn that into a benefit. You can turn it into a philosophical stance. You can turn it into we get that this isn't for everybody, but if you're this type of person, this is why it's actually a good thing for you. Okay, so what's the main point of today's episode, Lily?
We're not built for everyone. And if you can make a flaw and turn it into your benefit or a feature, then that will attract your tribe.
If you can take a flaw and turn it into a flag
Yeah.
that people rally behind, you can turn it into a tribe.
Well said. I like it.
That's our 2 cents on it. We believe in not hiding the skeletons in your closet, but learning how to make them dance. So before we're out of here, let us know what's one thing in your offer, in your business, that some people might perceive as a flaw, but you can reframe as a feature. Let us know in the comments.
Sounds good.
And I'm Nathan Frazier.
And I'm Lily Elizabeth.
And this is Cultish Content. We will catch you later.
Till next time.
Before we're out of here, do me a favor. If you like this video, let me know. Hit that like button. If you want to catch more videos like this, smash that subscribe button. If you know a business owner or a marketer who could benefit from what we talked about in today's video, share it with them. And check out the other couple videos YouTube's recommending. I bet you'll dig them.